And Jack turned to me and he said, well, we're getting ready. And I said, you know, I wish that I would hear that other plane take off, the other 747. And he turns to me and he says, don't worry, if he hits us, we'll never feel a thing. Well, we were ready for takeoff because we'd been actually on the ground for 3 hours. We were diverted because of the terrorist bombing. There was fog rolling in and out on this Rodeo airstrip. The idea was that the KLM was ahead of us. He would taxi down the runway, turn around, and wait for takeoff as we came behind him and pulled off onto runway 3. Our pilots made a mistake about what runway we were to hold in, and by the time that happened, the fog had come in again. Within probably a minute from the time that we took off, I looked out and there was a lot of grass, and I heard this huge noise, this and right at that time the impact happened. And my recollection is just within instance I can remember thinking, we've been hit head on and death is imminent. At that time there were lots of explosions and implosions, fire. Apparently his wing took off the entire top of our, where the observation deck was in a 747. And ironically, we had friends that had asked if Jack and I wanted to come upstairs and sit in that observation tower. They were people that we had met in New York. I said, no, let's just sit in our own seats. They never found their bodies as fate would have it. So as the plane started to catch fire, knowing that Jack and I had to get out of the plane, he turned to me and said, let's go, and I couldn't get up out of my seat. I don't know what happens to a person when they go through something like that, but my shoes were gone, my rings were gone. I didn't care about anything but getting out of that plane. When the whole top of the plane was sheared off, all the luggage, all the debris came tumbling down. There really was no door now. It was just an open area, and that was right in front of the wing. There were people that you could see on the wing, and then again more fire. So my immediate thought was, I don't want to burn up. I will suffer any broken bone, any type of injury that way that you can recover from, but somebody that, you know, I just didn't want to burn by fire. And I looked down over what the side of the plane was, which is about 2 stories up, and deciding, do you want to jump or do you want to get burned up? Because again, the fire was imminent. And I thought, I'll just scooch my way down as best I can. And I jumped out over the side. Warren was down below and he said, here, I'll catch you. So halfway down, I can remember that there was so much plastic and wiring and metal protruding out of the side of this plane because it had been ripped open. And halfway down, I got caught by my nylon slip, and that sort of broke my fall, so that was a really good thing. And as I undid myself, then I fell down. Immediately I got up and started running, just with every ounce of wanting to flee that I could, to get as far away from this plane as possible. I turned around and I can see Jack walking towards me, and just at that time when he reached me, which was probably less than 2 minutes, all of this happening, the whole plane went up like an atom bomb, just the big plume of smoke, just like you see the atom bomb clouds. Initially, there were 71 that survived, and we lost 2 on the way back in the air transport that we were evacuated back to the United States. So I am really blessed and fortunate. It was just one of those, you don't go back for your purse, you don't go back, you have to train yourself to what makes a survivor or what doesn't make a survivor, and it's really being aware of your surroundings. So.